What's on your calendar today? Yes, hi, it's Thursday, episode 349. It's the Marketer for Owners podcast. You can find all the details in iTunes. Just search for Marketing for Owners. Love a rating if you've got time for that. Just, if it's not going to be 5 stars, by the way, by all means, give whichever rating you want. But at the same time, email me and tell me why you think it's not worth 5 stars. I'd love to know, because I'd love to improve it and make it better. And without feedback from people who actually listen, I'm never going to know. So, calendars. Oh, a lot of people don't like to work with calendars. A lot of people don't like to plan, full stop. But I'm going to challenge you, because if you are running a business, or if you're running a team or a marketing team or a project, no matter what you are doing, you need a plan. And that involves every day. You can't just wing it. If you're just turning up and just winging it, you are not going to be effective. Of course, you can make it up as you go along. You can react to things, but that's just like having a job. Then you've got no responsibilities, you've got no growth plans, nothing else, because you're just going to react. That means people are going to email you, and you're going to decide your day based on emails that come in. People are going to phone you up, and that's going to interrupt your schedule, and you're going to react and go and do something to do with that. Staff or team members are going to come to you with problems or issues or things that are happening, and you're going to help out. And at the end of the day, you're going to, someone at home is going to say, how'd you get on? Did you have a nice day? And you're going to sit back and you're going to go, oh, I'm exhausted. But I didn't get much done. And that's because you let other people decide your agenda. So, the more successful people will plan and will have structure to their day. Now, of course, they may have assistance, but the modern entrepreneur does a lot of this themselves. And it's just down to determination and habit. So if you're going to do certain types of work every single day, block it out in your calendar. So for instance, if you're blogging, if you're going to write, or if you are going to write an email to your list, these are things you should be doing, by the way, then do it at the same time every week. Try and do it in batches if you can, so do more of this. We're going to talk about that on another podcast probably next week. But try to block it out in your calendar. Make an appointment with yourself. Now, if you have in your calendar, for instance, if you have an appointment with somebody coming in to see you, or you've got to go and see someone else, then all these other things don't get done. You can't do them because you have an appointment. So make appointments with yourself. And this includes blocking out free time. How many times have you had your lunch at 3 p.m, if at all, because you were too busy? Why can't you have lunch? Block it out, put it in your calendar, and just take the time away from your desk or away from your work. Your staff get lunch breaks. Why shouldn't you? You are in charge. Why should you have lesser working conditions than anyone else? Remember, plan it. Now, of course, you can have a to-do list and you can have all the things that you want to be doing, but that should also be part of your plans. But don't let this overwhelm you. So to-do lists are things that come up. They're not for regular tasks. They are for projects and things that come up. Your to-do list shouldn't have admin tasks. Your to-do list should have things that moves the business forward. So if you've set your goals and say you've got things that you want to do in the next 3 months, that should then be broken up into projects. Tomorrow, on the weekend challenge, I'll explain how we process a project, how we put a project together, and how we break up a task into a project to get it done. So come back tomorrow on Friday for that. But with this, you have your project, and that will have steps. These go onto your to-do list, and each day you put 2 or 3 into your day and get them done. But there are other things that are regular. So for instance, for me, on a Wednesday, I will have first thing in the morning, have exercise, I have some thinking time, thinking of what I'm going to do in the day. It's actually slotted in. I work from home only, so it's slotted in to then have an exercise. I don't get breakfast till 10. I actually work until then. Certainly don't answer emails. So the first thing I do on that day is to make notes of ideas of things I want to discuss in a podcast. And the notes I will do is what book I'm going to recommend, what podcasts I'm going to recommend, things like that. The rest of it is just ad-libbed, so there's no actual scripting. But that's then. The next part of the morning will be writing about other things. I do an expert interview series on Wednesday, and so yesterday you'll have heard Nick Wheeler of Charles Turret Shirt. Love that guy. It's really one of my business heroes. And I will have set out questions and things I want to do for researching expert interviews and emailing the people, things like that. That's in a slot. And then probably a shower. Then there's a session for training. I'm constantly training. There's lots of online training programs I have that I go work through. And if they're not slotted in, when am I going to do those? And then 12 o'clock, I answer emails for 30 minutes. I don't do emails again until I think it's 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. But then after that, there will be podcast recording time. I do things in batches. That's when I fit it in. Later on, there's time for webinar work and all sorts. And that's on one day. And my Wednesdays will be like that every Wednesday. Now, if I'm not in on a Wednesday, if I've got something else, I've got to be away, it will be moved around. I will have free time blocked out in certain areas of the week where I can move these things to be done. And that's my Wednesday. My Thursday has certain meetings. Mondays has planning work and things like that. I even have it scheduled as to when I plan my week. So it's in a calendar. This is helping me. I've actually shown my calendar to quite a few other people, and it's given them an insight into what they could do with theirs. You don't have to have it all blocked out, but certain things you have to get done. Block them in your calendar. Otherwise, you won't fit them in. They won't seem important. And like I say, if you want to progress, if you want to grow your business, you want to work on the things you need to be working on, please don't wing it. That is my advice for today. It applies to marketing, business, everything. And don't forget to plan your free time, plan your time for your family and stuff as well. Get it in there. Get it on that calendar. Use Google Calendar, dead easy. End of. All right. Today is a Thursday, so it's time for a Drive Time podcast. And we like business podcasts that help. So today we're recommending the Internet Business Mastery podcast. It's with Jason and Jeremy. Now, if you want to see the links, of course you can just look up Internet Business Mastery podcast in iTunes or in Google. It'll all get you there. But go to the website at marketingforowners.com/podcast/349 and you'll see the links to this wonderful one. It's for beginners, people starting up in business and startups, which is where we like it. So listen to what they say. Generally 30 to 40 minutes is good, solid information. 2 guys on the podcast, and it's I've never heard a bad one yet. I recommend it. I will be back tomorrow, and that's when I'm going to explain to you how to put together a project. I'll see you then.